When the man in the parable knocked on his friend's door and asked for the 3 loaves of bread, he received the impatient retort, "Do not bother me. The door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot get up and give you anything." So at the most difficult period in his life, this man was left disappointed. How often have men experienced a similar disappointment when at midnight they knock on the door of the church? Millions of Africans patiently knocking on the door of the Christian church where they seek the bread of social justice have either been altogether ignored or told to wait until later, which almost always means never. Millions of American Negroes and other minority groups, starving for the want of the bread of freedom, have knocked again and again on the door of so-called white churches, but they have usually been greeted by a cold indifference or a blatant hypocrisy. In the terrible midnight of war, men have knocked on the door of the church to ask for the bread of peace, but the church has often disappointed them. What more pathetically reveals the irrelevancy of the church in present-day world affairs than its witness regarding war? In a world gone mad with arms buildups, chauvinistic passions, and imperialistic exploitation, the church has either endorsed these activities or remained appallingly silent. Oh, how tragic this is. It reveals that as people knock with determination, they are often left disappointed. A weary world pleading desperately for peace has often found the church morally sanctioning war. Those who have gone to the church to seek the bread of economic justice have been left in the frustrating midnight of economic deprivation. In many instances, the church has so aligned itself with the privileged class and so defended the status quo that it has been unwilling to answer the knock at midnight. The church must be reminded that it is not the master or the servant of the state, but rather the conscience of the state. It must be the guide and the critic of the state, and never its tool. If it does not participate actively in the struggle for peace and for economic and racial justice, it will forfeit the loyalty of millions and cause men everywhere to say that it has atrophied its will. But if the church will free itself from the shackles of a deadening status quo and, recovering its great historic mission, will speak and act fearlessly and insistently in terms of justice and peace, it will enkindle the imagination of mankind and fire the souls of men, imbuing them with a glowing and ardent love for the truth, justice, and peace. Men far and near will know the church as a great fellowship of love that provides light and bread for lonely travelers at midnight. This is its role. The God of the universe still speaks through his prophets, saying the church that justice roll down like waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. God is still speaking, saying, "I am not concerned merely with your beautiful prayers and eloquent sermons. What doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God?" And if the church can capture this and find this, it will give men and women a ray of hope in the dark midnight parable.